Hi everyone and welcome to the Shy Sheep. I hope that you're all having a lovely week thus far. So on this week's video, I thought it would be cool if I spoke about how I collect anime figures. I'm basically giving tips on how to collect. I don't know if anyone's actually interested in this, but it's something I really wanted to do, and another video I've been thinking of doing is kind of linked to this video, which is basically what I am planning for my collection. If you'd be interested in seeing that, please let me know. Anyway, I do have some notes jotted down on my phone, but basically I will be going through the 5 ways that I collect anime figures. One of the biggest things that helps me collect is number 1, to plan my collection. So I guess the first bit of advice, maybe, if you're into this, is plan your collection out. So I actually have, I don't know, where is it? Have like a book that I'm actually gonna make digital, either by like scanning it or typing it out, I don't know, where I write down the different things that I'm interested in terms of like different anime that I'm interested in, like that I really love, the characters that I really love, different types of themes that I'm interested in, and bases that I like. I've also written down things that I absolutely do not like and do not want in my collection, like overly complex bases, something of the face that's not right. I've written down some rules that I should follow, like I shouldn't just get something that's super hype or something that I just like. I should really love the figure. I shouldn't just get an original character. I should really love the original character. I also mean plan out my collection in terms of what I want my collection to look like. So I apologize if you can hear the rain. I didn't know that it was gonna rain today, but apparently it's gonna rain today. I specifically chose filming today because I didn't think it was gonna rain. Yay! I apologize if you hear tippy taps on the roof. My roof is pretty loud with the rain. By planning my collection, I mean I actually plan like what my collection should look like in terms of its shelves. Some examples, I think I've mentioned this multiple times, so you're probably tired of hearing it. I want a Demon Slayer shelf, which I have separated out into a Demon Slayer corpse shelf and then a demon shelf, obviously if enough demons get made. I assume I'm going to need multiple shelves though, since I don't think all of the Hashira will fit on one shelf. I think I've mentioned a Jujutsu Kaisen shelf, also probably gonna need multiple shelves for that. I really want an Attack on Titan shelf. It helps me not just pre-order everything I like and everything I see. As long as if I have a plan of what I want from my collection, what I want it to look like, what kind of shelves I want, I know what figures I should get and which ones I should skip out for my own financial safety. It just really helps me because I get quite distracted and I easily just want to grab things all the time. And I think that if you're struggling to sort of get a direction for your collection and sort of struggling with how many pre-orders you have, or struggling with something like that, like you don't know where you're going, don't know how your collection's gonna look, don't know what you should or shouldn't be pre-ordering, what you should be skipping, what you should be getting, I think it would really help if you just write down the things of what you're interested in, what themes you like, what anime you like, what characters you like, things that you really want to collect. I think that would be really helpful, and also putting down things you definitely don't want, so you can, if something like that rocks up, you can definitely just rule it out immediately. And I think it would really help you in your collection, especially if you're more on a budget and you need to be careful about what you're pre-ordering. Number 2 is I only collect figures, really. There are some exceptions, but I only collect figures from anime that I really love and that's really like stuck with me and is special to me, and also of characters that I really love. and are really special to me if they happen to not be in the anime that I really love. Along these lines, I'm just going to touch on original characters. I really don't have enough money to be collecting these characters that I just mentioned that I love, and anime that I love, and every single pretty original character girl that I come across. So for original characters, I really have to love the original character, so much so that I would almost forego another figure that I was wanting over that original character, basically. I haven't really found an original character like that just yet. I have to really love it that I would forego another figure, basically. And that's sort of what I go with my original characters, because I would most definitely, okay, this is an example, I would most definitely have any one of my Jujutsu Kaisen figures over any original character that is on my figure collection list. That's just an example, and if they were in the same month and I could only afford one, it's gonna be the Jujutsu Kaisen figure. Or the Demon Slayer figure, you know? So that's just an example. I also have limited myself to things that I love and that are very special to me, instead of things that I just like, because I can't afford that. I would love to collect a lot more figures from other anime. I just can't afford it. And in any case, I am quite a sentimental person, so that's why I also chose things that are very special to me, close to my heart, anime characters that I love, things along those lines, because then I always sort of feel like very close to my collection, if that makes sense. I don't know if that sounds weird. But I always feel very close to my collection, very happy and warm when surrounded by it. Like, it brings out happiness, and like it reminds me of the feelings I had during the anime, or when that character was on screen or something like that. Yeah, my collection definitely soothes a lot of anxiety in me, and it just helps me like feel happier when I'm having like a bit of a rough day and I look at my collection. It can like bring out that happiness and the feelings that I was feeling and just make me feel a lot better, which is why I think I also have put those rules in place, because I like to just, you know, I don't know how to explain this nicely, but I just like to feel that sense of like love and happiness and warmth and coziness from my collection, which I would only really get if I was collecting things that I really loved and were really close to my heart, you know? I don't know, that's what I like in my collection. It's not for everyone, of course, but I would suggest maybe if you know what you want your collection to feel like for you, if you want it to be more original character derived, or you want it to feel more like arty for you, or like your things are more works of art, then you know which figures you'll probably want to collect then. So I just mean like in terms of like, that's something that I have for myself, maybe you can get something similar like that. I thought that might be helpful. I know it was very helpful to me when I made this decision, and I felt so much better when I looked at my pre-orders. I was actually so excited for every single one of my pre-orders. I felt so happy with where my collection was going. So I know that when I made this decision to only collect like that, it made me feel so good and just so happy with where my collection was going. Like, I actually I'm getting so excited now thinking about it. So yeah, find something like that does that for you. Number 3 is actually pretty important just in general. It's not like a very opinionated thing. Looking at the release dates of things. I think looking at release dates is really important, because you can have multiple figures of things that you love all releasing in the same month, and suddenly you have to choose between things you love. Luckily, most of my things are pretty spread, but there are quite a few Nendoroids of mine releasing in the same month. I can actually afford a couple Nendoroids in the month though, so it's fine, it's fine. It works out fine for me. It's when there's a couple scale figures that it's a problem. Okay, I also like to consider the delays when looking at release dates, and thinking of, this could potentially make this month really heavy and I need to be prepared for that, so I shouldn't maybe pre-order too many things in the next month or two, and though, you know, those things could also get delayed though. So it's always good to consider the delays and how it could affect your next lot of pre-orders, which I always try to do, and I have actually had to cancel some things because of that in the past. But yeah, in general, that's sort of what I do when I look at release dates. It's also really helpful to see if you can afford a month, of course. If there are 3 scales releasing and you can only afford 1 scale per month, then you definitely know you need to pick one of the 3, or if you're hoping one of them gets delayed, maybe you can pick 2. Hopefully you don't pick the one that doesn't get delayed then. But yeah, I don't know, there's not much more to say about that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but that's definitely a very clever way of collecting. I think most collectors collect like that. They don't just go and pre-order things like just all over the show without even looking at release dates. Okay, so number 4 is I generally wait a bit before pre-ordering something. Anyway, I generally wait a bit before pre-ordering something if it's not an instant pre-order, because firstly, I like to see if any other company is going to be coming out with a similar figure so that I don't end up pre-ordering one and then I end up preferring the same character but from a different company, and then it's like I don't, like, you know, I might just want that figure instead of the one I pre-ordered. So I try and wait that out to see if it is like a popular series like Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, try and wait it out a bit to see if there is perhaps a different scale coming so I can choose between the 2. I'm currently doing that with the Giyu Alta, who still obviously doesn't have a prototype or anything, and the Kotobukiya Alta, although I might get 2 Giyus, so it might not even, like, this might not even have a point, but yeah, I also like to wait for original characters. I actually wait a while before pre-ordering one. I haven't pre-ordered one, if that's any clue to you, because sometimes I can just look at the original character and be so in love with her initially, and like, she's so beautiful, oh my god, she's so cute, this is such a beautiful figure, like, it just looks beautiful as is, and then I think about it for a while longer and I'm like, I don't know if I actually need her, and I think I'd rather have that money go towards another figure that I really love of a character that's so special to me rather than an original character. I think that that's really helpful to sometimes wait on things like that aren't instant pre-orders for you, because I think it's really helpful. It helps you maybe like calm down a bit from the hype of the figure and how she looked or how he looked, and just helps you like get back into a calmer, more rational headspace maybe. And of course, if you do still want the figure, then obviously you know you really do want her and you can definitely go ahead and pre-order the figure. But yeah, I definitely found that waiting has really helped me. And that's kind of how I collect now. If it's not an instant pre-order, I definitely wait a while before pre-ordering things. And it's really helped me. It's really helped me get control of my collection and also head in the correct direction with my collection. I felt like it's one of the reasons why I've also been feeling better with where my collection is going, because I just feel like I have more control over what's happening now and I'm not just running wild and free and just like, oh my god, there's so many beautiful figures, you know? So the 5th one is a very important one with regards to price cutoffs. And if I have a certain price cutoff, which I really have general price cutoffs, and then I have like extreme price cutoffs where like this is the maximum I can spend on a figure, and like even if it is something I love and it has gone beyond this, I cannot get it because it will not be good for my bank account. But yeah, so I have price cutoffs. I think I don't like spending over the 20,000 yen mark for a more simple figure, which is generally I think I've mentioned that I like the more simple, less intricate figures, like base wise. I don't like spending over that mark. I will Gojo if I have to, like, you know, if I deem it worth my monies, but I try and always keep it under there, I think. I'm meaning for 1/7 and 1/8. Definitely 1/8, I don't like spending over that. 1/7, there's the occasional one. And obviously with Eastream, for the Jujutsu Kaisen scales, I don't know how much they're gonna be, but I am on the lookout for how much they'll be. You know, depending on how much it is, it'll affect my future collection things and money available to me. But yeah, I have my price cutoffs. I think it's really wise, if you do have to watch how much you're spending, to have price cutoffs so you can make sure you're not overspending, or that you're not just giving in to the prices. But yeah, so like if you have other expenses in your life, obviously you need to be really careful then about how much you're spending on figures. So I think it is wise to have a price cutoff, and also to sort of know when it is too expensive for you to be buying, and like what is acceptable for certain figures, what is acceptable for certain scales, for things with complex bases. Like, I don't know, I have that, and I found it really helpful because there have been figures like the Utah figure by FNX that I really wanted and I was going to instantly pre-order, but when I saw it was like double the price of the E-Stream scale, which I actually didn't know had come out yet. By the way, I actually prefer the E-Stream scale. But I was like, I can't, like, no, and there's shipping on top of that. No, no, I personally can't afford that. I don't know if this was helpful, if you enjoyed my 5 tips. I hope that they were helpful, and if you are experienced, I hope that maybe we share some of the same things, or maybe you just found the way I collect really interesting and really entertaining, and maybe some of this stuff helped you and you're like, oh, I should maybe add that into the way I collect. And if you're new to collecting, I really do hope that this does help you out a little bit, and that you enjoyed the video. So yeah, that's all I have for you this week. I hope that it was fun and enjoyable, and yeah, I hope to see you here all next week, but it's okay if you don't want to, I understand. But I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll see you all, I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye guys.